Okay, so we're live. Going ahead.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Hour Show on Shine Radio. I'm joined with Tim again. Hello, Tim.
Hello.
We're gonna do it freestyle again.
Now that works
I
for
think.
me.
I hope. I don't
Yeah.
know, unless you've planned something. I don't know.
No, no. You know what? I like freestyle. It works for me.
Yeah. Tim is recording this. Apparently. I. I hope you are.
Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
recording?
Yep.
Yes, he's recording it. Um. So it should be up on YouTube. Maybe. He's gone.
No, I'm
Something.
actually still here, but I wasn't
Are
sure you were referring to me or the listeners out there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still here. Actually, I
Oh,
just
good.
you know what I was doing? I was checking to make sure because you had mentioned technology being an issue. I'd made sure that I had. I've got two profiles, one for a different stream and one for your stream, and I wanted to make sure that I had actually switched it. You know,
Good.
double
Good.
check, make sure.
That's something I wouldn't have done. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I've just finished 2 hours of music. Kind of broadcasting a musical show.
Oh, cool.
So that keeps me busy in the afternoon. So not much going on right now in Nova Scotia, but we do have a sunny day here.
Low, cold or warm, but or just was the sun just out?
We're right at the freezing mark right now, so
Oh,
it's a
good.
it's a little
Cool.
warmer than it has been.
A little bit colder than our. Oh, it felt cold. Apparently, it wasn't that cold, but it felt cold.
So coming up this weekend, we're going to have a change in our time because we do what's called daylight savings time here,
Oh, cool.
and so our
We
clocks are
do,
going to
I think,
go
do
ahead 1 hour on Saturday overnight.
we? We might do. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I know we do, and so it's going to be it's going to be later in the day. Like it's 8 p.m. right now where you're at, or 2 minutes after, and it'll be 9 o'clock for us. A week from now. So very unusual. Takes time to get used to that.
Yeah. Ooh, a daylight set is. When's our daylight saving it? This should be on my calendar somewhere.
It's going to be Sunday, March 27th. You're going to go 1 hour forward in the UK.
Thanks for that. Right. I need to remember that.
Yeah, so you got
If
different
yeah.
timing than we do by a little bit, but other than that, you're still doing that clock ahead in the spring, springing ahead,
Mm.
and falling back in the fall. Do you call it
Oh,
autumn or fall over there?
what? I'm losing you slightly,
Do
but
you
I think it's
call
my
it
internet.
autumn
So
or fall?
what? I still didn't get that. Sorry.
Great. I'm just wondering if you refer to the season after summer as autumn or fall.
Oh, autumn, autumn,
Ah, yes.
not fall. Why is it called? Do you call it fall or autumn?
A lot of people refer to it as fall because I think that's the Americanization of the Canadian people.
I don't know why. Why is it called? Why? Is there any reason? Because fall is it like fall or summer or
Um, I'm not sure.
Google it.
I'm doing it right now.
It's Google.
Why do we say fall or autumn to refer to the third season? That sounds like it might be hopeful. It used to be harvest time, of course, so they used to refer
Yeah.
to it as just the harvest. Um, and it lasts from the end of September until December, according to this. Wow, long winded explanation. It has to do with the leaves falling off of trees.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's when they lose their leaves, so they call it fall. And
That
it's
makes
an
a
old
lot of
English
sense.
word, so I'm surprised that it isn't called fall in the UK. It's called autumn.
Yeah, that's that. Oh, wow.
So and of course it was brought over to the New World from English originally, and it was just carried on as a tradition.
Hmm. It's
So
a bit
fall
odd.
fell out of favor in England, so of course they've gone to autumn. So it must sound
Hmm.
more sophisticated, maybe.
Yeah.
So So there you go, and that's something new that I've learned.
Something new I've learned. I didn't
Right,
know fools came from the UK or English, the English language.
right. So there we go.
Things we learn in this little five past already.
We could ramble on for minutes at a time.
That's a good idea. The meaning of life.
Right.
That
So
would take a long time to explain.
yeah, exactly. There's a whole movie from Monty Python about the meaning of life.
Oh, I like Monty Python. It's such.
Are you a fan or not a fan?
I'm a decent fan.
Okay. In Canada, we were always it's been very popular for Canadians, but there was a new group that was a Canadian group that came out that was quite similar,
Yeah.
called Kids in the Hall. I don't know if you've
That
seen that
sounds
or not.
interesting.
Well, it's a group. It's a group of four actors, and they would very similarly dress in women's clothing at some points for some of the skits, and it became very very popular, and it was actually produced by the same company out of New York that does Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I heard of that.
Right. So so that they probably grew up watching Monty Python and then decided to recreate something similar.
Yeah. Oh, I've just seen on the news that last Sunday, so that was yesterday. Uh, a manager was celebrating because they scored a goal, and here it says he punched his own player accidentally. But
By
he takes out
mistake.
his own player.
Right. That's not a good practice.
No.
And the
It's a
bad
bit.
news in the news right now is they're saying there could be more attacks in the UK.
I know.
It's not
I,
not great.
uh, I think in the UK we've lulled ourselves into an insecure pattern where we really don't think anything's going to happen.
Right.
So we're just not scared. We just go on with life.
I remember
If
years ago that I used to know a gentleman who was from the UK, and he was very matter of fact about things. He didn't really concern himself too much.
I think if you concern yourself, you're going to get more worried and more not wanting to go out. So
That's why there's a big problem in Canada, the U.S. People stress themselves completely until they need help.
mm,
So mentally, it affects them.
it's not good.
No.
I think what is well in the UK we kind of we know that we know that the emergency services are going to be there.
Right.
So we're kind of hoping they'll be there at the right time and not on the other side of wherever it's going to be.
Right.
I think we're hoping it's going to be happening in London, not Oxfordshire or
Mm-hmm.
somewhere where.
Well, I mean, again, most of the time
Or what about? Yeah.
they do large
Or
cities.
yeah. Like if it happened in the Lake District.
Right.
Do you know the Lake District? It's a big county. It's got
Right.
lots of water and lakes.
Mm-hmm.
So you could on the news, IS attacks Lake District, kills 4 people. 4 people. Look at that. Oh, it's ridiculous, ISIS. Oh, I hope they're not listening.
I don't know. Are the media and the news in the UK so taken with crime and the results of following criminal trials? Is that something that's big in the UK?
Not really.
No. So
They
it's
don't. They don't really scare us.
no, and it's not as sensational as like the U.S. when years ago they had huge trials and they were carried live on television and everybody followed it.
That's a bit. Oh, I don't. I don't know if that would ever happen in the UK.
No. Small earthquake in Oxfordshire today.
I know. That was a fun thing to do.
Mm. Although not much damage, I'm sure, with a 2.3 on their scale.
We're a bit pathetic with um things like that. We had an earthquake a few years ago. It was like 2.5 or so. The only thing people complained about was their beer was knocked over in the pub.
Right.
That was the only thing they were worried about.
Well, there you go.
I think we've got bad priorities in the UK.
Well, I mean, you don't want to spill your beer, I guess.
No, it's valuable now.
Yes.
Over £1 to buy a pint of beer.
Right.
It's dreadful. I'm only 14. I shouldn't be worrying about this, but
Yeah. For the future, I guess.
yeah.
So.
What else is there?
Not much happening really. It's a pretty slow day in news.
Hmm.
They're talking about Parliament in the UK having an issue with a fire risk. It needs some repairs, and I don't know whether it's a matter of funding or.
Oh, everything's about funding now. I think
Yeah.
that.
40-year-old piping. Well, that could be an issue. Has asbestos. Wow, they're saying it'll be 2020 before they start work. Wow. Talk about kicking the can down the road. That's what they call that here. Do you guys get much news on the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau?
No.
No, he's very popular here and even in the U.S. And he's planning a trip to the U.S. shortly, and he's getting lots of coverage in the media. So that's interesting.
Cool. Come here. You might get a few. You might say, oh, just come to this little island. Get scared by terrorists.
Right.
Chris Evans got told off by the BBC.
Right.
Again. He's promoted a product, and you're not allowed to do that on the BBC.
Right. Where it's publicly funded?
Yep. So
So,
anybody who ever if you say like this shampoo is nice, you have to say it's competitors.
right, equal time.
Yeah.
So do they have paid advertisements though?
What, on the BBC?
Yeah.
No.
So in
They're
your
not.
program they don't interrupt it for ads.
There's no interrupts. There's no ads. There's no
Wow.
paid things. There's no.
We have a broadcaster called the CBC here, which is publicly funded, but they do have the same amount of ads as a commercial station.
That's not right.
No,
because
I
you're
know.
paying for them, and
Yeah, we're paying twice because, well, again, what's happened is the government has cut funding to it, so they've had to look for other sources of income. Years ago,
right.
there would be very few advertisements, but now it's just, it's basically equal to any other commercial station.
Well, here the BBC takes the money directly.
Right.
Like it's a. What's the word? It doesn't go anywhere near the government. It goes straight to them. So.
Right. So it's a levy directly on your taxes to them?
Well, it's a completely different tax, even.
Oh, yes. Wow.
A different piece of paper, which is fun to play with. You just see lots of different pieces of paper. That needs to be done. That needs to be done. We need to go to the bank for that.
So people must have more of a stake in the BBC then, and they must be very concerned about how it's doing and what type of programming. So
yeah, we talked about this last week, didn't we?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, at least it gives them stable funding, because here, if governments feel like it, they cut funding and they start cutting jobs.
Yeah.
So.
And also the BBC aren't allowed to take political views.
Right.
So, which was interesting when it came to the election.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had people from, you had a minister, an old Tory minister from, what's his name, the one political party, and one Labour and the Conservatives.
Right.
And one said that they'll eat their hat, and one said they'll eat their kilt. And on Question Time, a week later, they had a kilt and a hat made of a cake which they had to eat.
Yeah. I think they're looking for something to spend their time on.
Yeah.
You know, not enough to do.
They were quite old, though, so it's understandable.
Right.
But they did make mistakes.
Right. Well, there you go. Baseball is big over here, and it's already started, even though winter isn't over.
Isn't that? Oh, the UK's version of that is Rounders.
Okay. Well, they call
which
it
is
they call
like
it the
baseball,
Major
but-
League Baseball League here.
Oh, cool.
So what happens is all of the players go to Florida in the U.S. and they start playing in March to get ready for the regular season. So that's the big thing now. That's
All
getting
right.
started up. So it's a different type of game, of course.
Yep. Rounders here is like, well, equivalent base. It's played by children in schools. Like,
Okay.
yeah. You get the odd adult playing. It's not competitive here. Like baseball is in the US and Canada. It's like just it's like cricket,
Right.
but it's a bit more competitive and it's kind of dangerous because you have this wooden bat and it's like it's you're hurling around these stumps with wooden bats. It's going to end badly for the person with the who steps out of line and gets his teeth knocked out.
Right. So basically, I would imagine that what they call baseball here is probably from that game originally, because rounders would have been around in Tudor times, according to Wikipedia.
Well, cool. So yeah.
So it has a long history back to 1744.
Hmm.
So and the name baseball was referred to at that time.
What
So
you get baseball caps. That's big
yeah,
in UK at the
exactly.
moment.
Right.
Everyone wants a baseball cap, but they just call it a cap. But in the
Right.
shops they got a baseball cap.
Oh, okay.
We like shortening things.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Which it doesn't help many much of the time. Like Brexit, Britain's exit.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit of a
Right.
ah,
They call it
well,
America's game in North America, see.
oh cool.
And in Canada, they call hockey our game. So hockey is the Canadian game.
Hockey. Oh, I'm playing hockey in PE.
Yeah, see, hockey is considered to have been started in Canada originally.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, so but
So
again, there's no guarantee that that's true. It's just kind of the claim. So there's been a little bit of a debate back and forth on where hockey started. So
it's like golf but more violent.
hockey is a game where they have a fight and then they have some playing time and then there's another fight and it can be very very aggressive.
Yeah.
So you have to be a certain sort of person for that. But
A lot of shins are
yes,
bleeding after PE
yeah,
because we're just chucked out with wooden sticks and balls and told to go and fight on the Astro.
right, wow. And here it's not played in school very much. It's actually played as a sport outside of school system.
Oh, professionally.
Well, not really.
Oh,
They start at a very young age and they work their way through different levels until they get to high school, and then there are high school teams.
all right, cool.
So there's been a lot of hockey in this area, and then basketball is the other one, which is again another game that is claimed to have been started in Canada.
Mm.
So basketball is very popular. It's a winter sport.
Is it, what do you put? Can't it be all year round, really?
Well, yes, but again, in
Yeah.
the summertime they play outside sports like
Like not
football. Well, what you
football, yeah.
call football, we call
Although
soccer.
football playing in sweltering heat is not. They wanted to put Qatar in FIFA World Cup.
Wow.
And imagine these footballers, 20, 30-year-old footballers, just running about a pitch, sweating buckets.
Right.
It
Not
would
to
be so
mention they'd
hot.
probably be collapsing.
Yeah. It was 5 past, and now it's 20 past.
Right.
How's that happened?
It's just a matter of talking.
This is not possible. This shows how much time I waste in my life just talking. It's now 20 past. This is for a benefit. Normally I just talk to myself.
Right.
Wow, why time goes fast. I think this is not right. Time flies.
I noticed that there's an article out that is talking about peanut allergies.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so now they're saying that babies who eat peanuts early have a better chance of not having an allergy.
Oh, cool.
So it cuts the risk of the allergy by up to 80% for children. So before it used to be you wouldn't want to introduce peanuts at a young age because they were worried that there might be an existing allergy.
Mm.
So it's funny how they change their mind on food and what's good and what's bad and how allergies work, and so now it's a reversal on that.
What phones do you like, Android or Apple?
Well, to be honest with you, I like them all. I'm a technology. I kind of in my family, for instance, we have Android lovers, and iPhones or Apples are very prevalent.
I like Samsung. Android. I
Yeah,
like Android. I don't think I'd use anything else apart from an Android.
I
Either
use
because
I use the Note
oh,
from
it's a nice
Samsung.
phone. That's nice.
Yes, and I've also used the new iPhone 6 Plus.
It's rather big, isn't it?
But when you're getting to an age where your eyesight isn't as good, it makes it easier.
Oh, okay.
So, and I constantly have a phone for tasks and keeping me on track so I don't forget things.
Good.
I'm not going senile or anything, but it just helps you stay organized.
Yeah.
So, so right now I'm using an iPhone 6 Plus, and part of the reason for that is I'm into home automation,
Uh-huh.
where I can kind of control lighting and door locks and things like that. And a lot of that stuff is now being integrated with Siri and HomeKit.
Oh, cool.
And on the Samsung side, it's a little more difficult, and the
Yeah.
Android side. So, and then there's the old debate over Apple Pay compared to Samsung Pay and all that. You know, I guess you just have to pick and go with what you like.
Yeah, I'd like Samsung. I've had huge arguments with people about this, but I think it's just one of those things where you get born with something and you get given it at the start. Like your first phone or device, I think will set you up for the rest of your life, if
That's
you
it
know what I mean.
exactly. Do you know there used to be uh, a method like when people were learning to drive, they used to take a course called driver's education, and car companies would make sure that they would get the ability to place cars in these educational programs for a reduced price. And when you learn to drive in a particular brand of car, you tend to like that car for a long time because it
Oh,
was your
cool.
first
Yeah.
vehicle experience, so you get
Yeah.
comfortable with it. So it's the same thing with Apple, for instance, in elementary schools in Canada and the US. They would put a bunch of computers there so kids would get used to it. And then when they went to buy a computer for home, they would buy an Apple. That was the idea anyway.
And
Um,
it seemed to have worked
I think so.
slightly.
Although Macintosh is a computer system that is more expensive, it is more straightforward to use in a lot of ways.
Yeah. You can't like change it really, can you? It's a very closed
Well,
system.
it's a closed system to protect it as well. And recently in the news, like in the last couple of days, they've said that ransomware has finally showed up on the Macintosh computer, and it's been around on IBM-based computers for years.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that
Yeah.
article.
So so it's
That
kind of
that was pretty interesting actually.
yeah. And I mean, really, who wants to get ransomware and have to pay to get their computer clean so they can reaccess it?
And also, it's going to be more expensive if you go. You have to go to Apple, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure what would happen. I mean, in a lot of cases, this ransomware just basically locks out everything on the computer.
And
So
yes,
I don't know. It's
where was it? There was some. I don't know where it was, but it's going to be somewhere. Come on, news, give it up.
are people in the UK as taken with Facebook as they are in North America?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a big thing there too.
yeah. Facebook's big in here.
Yeah. Social media is kind of taking over a lot of people's screens, on their phones and on their computers.
Yeah, I don't like that much. I think we should communicate a bit more.
Right.
Although this is social media, really, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, calling it social media kind of is not really accurate.
Mm.
For Facebook, you're not being social much at all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
They've really got the wrong name, haven't they?
yes, it should be stay by yourself in your home and send a message. Media.
Yeah. It's a long title. It's not very catchy.
No, I know it just doesn't work.
Oh God, what was that? Something fell out my window. What
Uh
the dickens has happened now? I don't know. Something broke.
Oh well.
I'll find out tomorrow. Right. Oh, homework is going to kill me one day.
Yeah.
When's this due? Wednesday, so I need to complete it all by Tuesday night. Good. That'll leave it to Tuesday. I still haven't done it. It was due. I took it off. I was meant to do it at the weekend, but I was away. And I
Right.
was doing something else. So more interesting.
Yeah.
So that was put
And
back.
so what topic do you have a major homework assignment in?
Maths.
Oh,
Over 100 questions due by Wednesday.
wow. That's a
Maths.
lot of work.
Yeah. Standard form. The lovely thing. Standard form.
Wow. I took a college math course about 2 years ago and nearly killed me because I'd
Good.
forgotten most of the high school math and I just had to relearn it all.
I don't like this. They say it's going to help in your future life. I don't know if standard form is going to help me in my future life.
Not sure.
I'm like, what? I've just noticed something. Have I done that all wrong? If you look at the following. Where's D? No, I haven't. Good. I had a panic attack there.
Yes.
Have I done question D wrong? 28 questions? Nope. Good. That was close.
How now, Brown Cow? I'm looking at Facebook because I mentioned it, and it's Mrs. Brown's Boys just popped up in front of me on Facebook.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. What?
Well, because I at one point had looked at information, and somebody I know must be a fan.
Yeah.
So of course it's popped up in front of me.
Ages ago they got 1 billion people logged on at once, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah.
That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. 1 billion people is 1 out of 7 people in the Earth.
Mm.
So. Have you been following news about the astronaut who was in space almost a year?
Yes, that was that person.
Right, and he had a twin brother who remained on Earth while he was in space, and they were doing tests to see what the effects of space were on him.
Yes, I heard that was that. Yes, there was so much news about it.
Right.
But yes, I didn't read any of it much, but I did hear about it. So it was quite exciting. That really good experiment, isn't it?
Yes.
It really, because 2 identical people.
Right.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, so basically they would measure and weigh and track all of the blood results through blood tests, and come to find out that the blood work that they had been taking in space, they never got it returned to Earth because they didn't have enough room, and it's been a while since they've had a resupply ship. So they're all stored on the space station right now waiting for the next chance to bring all that back. So there's still a lot of work to be done.
So they're really hoping that there's a difference, and if there's not a difference, they've wasted their time.
Well, they know that when you spend time in space, there's excess radiation that's coming at you constantly. So I think what they're trying to determine is what is the safe level that's, for time, because they know it'll be extended period of time if they decide to try a trip to Mars.
It'd be like 9 months, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a round trip of at least 9 months. So,
Our British astronaut Tim Peake is exciting everybody in the UK.
okay,
I think we're all very buzzed for space, and he's up there for 6 months, and it's going pretty quickly.
right.
I don't know when he went. I don't know when he's due back, but
Not sure,
Tim Peake.
but I know that gentleman is at least in his 40s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I
He
mean,
went to a school in West Sussex, so
right,
Chichester. Yeah, 43.
right, and he was a test pilot or something first.
Yeah. I know he's in space somewhere. I don't know where, but I can't see him.
No.
I literally just looked out my window thinking, oh yeah, he'd be there.
So the European Space Agency selected him back in 2009, and he's
Yeah.
been in space once so far. No, yeah, just the once. Soyuz. Oh no, maybe more than once. Hard to tell. Let's see. December 15th of 2015.